Good evening. Do you believe in fate? Of course not. But we're going to hunt this box of pennies in hopes for 3 pounds of copper and 10 wheat pennies and 7 Canadian pennies and 2 other foreign pennies and an Indian head penny and whatever else. Two Sheds Gabby here. And we are about to get started on some pennies. I was just watching some Alfred Hitchcock. Let's see what we can find, guys. Well, this is certainly the way I like to open up a box of pennies. The very first row, and I come to a dime. That's pretty cool. It's not silver or nothing, but it's a dime. That's neat. Just as I opened the roll, I got a phone call from the gospel preacher where I go, and he wants me to have a study with him and another person. So I'm not sure when that's going to take place yet, but I told him I'd certainly be available. And this is Monday, in just a little while, 82, my brother's going to be here for our Monday study. Oh, this last Sunday, we had an amazing sermon. I'm going to post a link to it. Another 82. I might talk a little bit more about it in the rolls later to come. I haven't gotten 10 wheat pennies in a bank box in a little while. It'd be pretty cool to get that. But I have gotten my 3 pounds of copper a good bit of the time. I think I can look at the edges of that and tell you that's zinc. (2017) D. There's fewer of them than there is the P. I've had a lot of people asking me about what's up with the 2017 P lately. I've kept one row of them, folks. And I don't feel the need to keep any more. That's just my personal thing. There's just so many of them. You know, I find them. I find more of the P's than I do the D's. But I don't save the D's. I don't save the D's either. But we definitely got over our 9 that we need for an average for the 3 pounds for the first row. I'm in the 4th row now, and I just came to this Canadian. I just couldn't hardly, you could tell that it's an older Elizabeth, and I just couldn't hardly tell the date. I finally used my little magnifier, my 50X right here, and you turn the light on, and I could tell that it's a 1964. And it's 98% copper. So far, each row, I have gotten over the 9 that I need to continue to work toward my 3 pounds of copper. Nothing else, no Wheaties or nothing. 82. I may have missed it by a penny or two this row. This is the 6th row, and here is my 2nd Canadian penny. This is the 1980 copper Canadian penny. This morning it was not so bad outside, so we went out. Where I had the it's hard. We put a new privacy fence in the back. And some of the dirt we used to fill in. Oh, there's a 2009. That's a pretty nice one. Yeah, we'll keep this one. Philadelphia. Very nice. So I filled in some low spots around the trees because my yard slants downward, and over years and years, just dirt has washed away. I'm not keeping the 2024s now. I think I have plenty. And so I used some of that dirt just to fill in some of the little bit lower spots. And there was clay in it, so stuff's not growing very good. So I bought a bunch of bags of just, cheaper topsoil. And then I'll go to each spot where I've done that and I fill it in with some topsoil and spread it out pretty good. And put some grass seed in. And so we've already done 2 patches. And so this morning it was feeling pretty good. So I only had a handful of bags of dirt left. So I filled in another spot and seeded it. Well, I've just started on my 10th row and no wheat pennies at all yet. That's kind of a bummer. So I thought we would just take this 10th row and go through it and see if one pops up. You need 2 for every 10 rows you go through to get that 10 average. I mean, you need 2 average for every 10 rows to get your 10 wheat pennies per box. There, I was hoping this would happen. 1951D, wheat penny, number uno, letter 1. That's cool. I was hoping that might happen. So I've told y'all that every Friday for like 5-6 weeks in a row, we'll be going to one of my bank branches and getting our free lunch, our Mexican food lunch off of the food truck. It's totally fun. And this last Friday, we drove around. We decided because we had other places to go, we didn't want to take it home. They've got a couple tables out there, but it's so hot. I don't particularly love eating in the vehicle, but I do like the AC. So we decided to eat in the vehicle. And, we were kind of parked where people are coming and going. And so we said, let's just pull around back. Maybe we'll even get lucky and get some shade. And we did, 1982. And so we pulled up in the shade to eat, and it was close to their dumpster. And while we're eating, these 2 guys come out with a bunch of boxes, nice looking boxes, and just open up the dumpster and throw them in. And I said, it looks like those boxes, maybe they had something in them. And, I do a lot of shipping. They were great boxes for shipping stuff. I said, if there's nothing in them, I wouldn't mind having some of those for, just for I got a bunch of empty boxes out in my shed. And when I sell something that needs a certain size, I go looking for it, I got a handful of them inside smaller boxes, not to mention all these penny and nickel boxes. I use them whenever I can. Here is the box. It was these sizes, and they're really sturdy, nice boxes. That's the bag. But each one had the Ethernet cable and a power supply, I guess, whatever. So anyway, I looked these guys up, and they list on eBay, and so I put like 2, get 2 of these or 2 of these for X amount of dollars. And I haven't sold one yet, but that'd be cool if I did. And I got a bunch of these boxes to boot. Kind of fun. I've been a dumpster diver several times in my life. There's a couple guys that do it professionally. It's kind of intriguing. Look at this, guys. I just pulled 2 pennies apart. That's pretty nasty. I think you can see the imprint of the penny I pull it off of. Right there. That is some disgusting stuff there, folks. Hey guys, it is after 11 o'clock. I am really tired. I wanted to do one more row, and I just came across the 74S. Looks really good. Look at this S. Something's wrong with that. Could that be the S over D? Or is it just messed up? And also, I don't think you can see it, but in the In God We Trust, it's doubling or something. Under the top of, you can really see it. Big time. It's the letters over top of the letters. Can you see it at all? Can you see that? The D is over another D and G, O. I'll get a picture of it on the Tom Love. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. I am so tired. Anyway, I got it set up on the Tom Love, but I'll just snap a picture on the little card there. Good morning, folks. It is 8 a.m. I've been up for a long time. My wife got up earlier than she expected, and I was up even a few minutes before her. I woke up and around 5:30, and I was just read from my Bible where I had left off earlier for a little while, and then my wife got up. She left today to go help my daughter with some stuff, and to see her friend. Actually, a multitask. She's taken a chair that we bought off Marketplace here in our town to her best friend up there in Indiana, and she's taking stuff to my daughter, and she's bringing stuff back from my daughter, and she's going to the guy that I sell for and paying him some money that I owe him, and picking up some equipment from him as well. And there's an 82. I got the banana here for scale. I always thought that was funny. Anyway, let's get started back where we left off last night. Man, I was so tired at 11 o'clock last night. I was not coherent. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know why I was so tired. I guess I didn't sleep well the night before or something, but man, I was out of it. I got shots of that penny, and I'll stick them up here with my Tom Love. 82. Usually this time of morning, I've got my blinds open, but it's a little bit hazy out. Usually this time of morning, 82. That one missed. It's so bright in here, you can't hardly see what you're doing. And I can see the sun's about to come out. It may make it difficult for me here. Copper. Where's that fourth little letter on that 2023? I'm going to eat this banana after this roll because it's getting to... I like them best like a day or two before this. These are fine. I don't like them real green, and I don't like them real ripe. When they get any older than this at all, then we put them away and they become banana nut bread. Oh, and I've got some of that too. But we will keep, I mean, if you've got bananas that are going bad, we'll take them. My wife has opened up the peel and poured the banana out to make banana nut bread. It don't matter how far gone they are, they make good banana nut bread. She says the farther gone they are, the better. Not very many coppers in this row. I break off the little tip on the end of the banana because I don't like that part. This is the evolutionary process of the banana, and this is where they used to have tails. I'm the 16th row, and I found another wheat penny. Wheat penny number 2. $1945, Philadelphia. Wheat penny number 2. What will I do today while my wife is away? I don't know what all I'm going to do. I think I'll get out and do a few things in the yard just to break a sweat. It's hot out there. It's supposed to get to 94 and feel like 100 today. This weather's supposed to end to this extreme after this week. I hope it does. It's supposed to get all the way down to the mid to high 80s. 82. When I get home from my banking or church services or something, man, I can't wait till I get to my house and put these on. That's my boxers with pockets and my old loose sleeveless shirt. And I've got 3 versions of this and 3 versions of this. And that's what I wear around the house 99% of the time. Anyway, I have a version of that on right now. You probably don't want to see it with me in it. I just came to another wheat penny. I thought I'd show you that before we got to the wheat penny. I love just lounging around the house. Golly. 1944 Philadelphia. What a fine looking penny that is. And what a fine design that is. I'd love to find an Indian head. Those are fun too, man. Golly. Copper. The last several rolls have not gotten my 9, so hopefully by the end of the box they will still average out and get me my 3 pounds. Oh, neat. A wheat penny number 2 in this roll, and that puts me up to number 4. That's cool. Another 1945. Huh. How about that? I was thinking here in a bit I'll get out my state stamped pennies, because I haven't, those 2 that I got from that bag of pennies a couple days ago, I have not put them with my others yet, and so I'll get them out. And 82. If I can find them today. I put stuff away and then I have to go digging. It's like, where'd I put those? Oh, I am not the most organized ever. It's all put away. It's just, I don't remember where I put them every time. 82. It's nice at the end when you go through the 82s that there's always more of them that are copper than are not. Almost every time. If I struggle to see the dots on the 23s, I don't mess around. If this was a 2023, I wouldn't even bother. And I've had a person say, well, what if it was one of those? I'm like, well, then I probably passed it up. And I would say that there's a chance I've passed one up, but I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm just happy that somebody else can get it. Copper. Row in the first half of the box, and I just came to Wheatie number 5. That's pretty cool. 1953 Philly. This guy right here just went out on me. Cheap little things. I got 2 overhead lights, this one right here that I can put down real close if I want, and then one a little bit more overhead, and it just quit working. And I'm like, what's going on? It's pretty new. I thought surely it didn't go out, so I replaced this thing, and so it was this thing that quit working, or at least the top part of it did. I didn't even try. I need to plug it back in and try the bottom part. Maybe it's just half of it. I'm sure I have 20 of them around here somewhere. I looked in one of my zipper bank bags the other day, and there was one there. And then in my overnight bag or suitcase, whatever you call it, I carry around, there's always one in there. And I've got my laptop bag that I, sometimes if I'm going somewhere and I take my laptop with me, I keep one in there. I think it's this thing, guys, because I just plugged this back into this slot right here, and I plugged my light into both of them, and it came on with this thing on both sides. So I may have the bottom part of this thing last year already quit working right, and so I may have another one that's gone. It was just a cheap thing we picked up. It was kind of neat that I could plug multiple things into. I have a feeling it won't be long before I'll be replacing that with something else. Next row, the 20th row, and here's number 6. They've come on pretty good here. 1942, Philadelphia. Y'all have probably noticed that I get more Philadelphia than anything. Here in the Louisville, Kentucky area. It is time to turn the fan on. It's starting to warm up. 82. Man, just all of a sudden it started warming up tremendous. Well, I guess it's the sun shining in, but wow. It really, just the last couple minutes really made a difference. I think I got a friend coming over today, and he's the guy that I met on my channel here. He contacted me. We started getting together and doing stuff together sometimes. The number of the day is 10. And this is the end of the 25th row in the first half. 10 copper pennies in this row. The next half of the video will be the second half of the box. All right, the first row in the second half of this box, and I get weedy number 7. I'm feeling like I got a pretty decent shot of getting my 10 wheat pennies in this box. 1955 Denver. Pretty cool. It seems like the 50s I get a lot of Denvers, but anything older I get mostly Philadelphia. Not all, but mostly. I even get a San Francisco every now and then. 82. The very, very next row, guys, and I get a 1944 Denver. Let's look at it under the Tom Love real fast. I don't see nothing different about that one. That was Weedy number 8. I feel pretty good about my 10 now. Of course, I could end with 8. When I was talking earlier about the guy that came in to buy the 2 bags of pennies, and there's only one because I was buying one, he said that the Mint is about to release to the public in their $50 boxes rolls of mint Benjamin Franklin's. I'm like, oh, really? That's pretty fascinating. Does any of you guys believe that? I don't. I'm not saying he's lying. I just think that he's extremely misinformed. And, could I be wrong? Yeah, I guess so. But I would say if they still had Franklin $50, rolls and rolls of them, that they'd be selling them on their site, They'd open them up to their collectors and the buyers and they'd be putting them in sets or something, I don't know. I don't think we're going to find rolls of mint Franklin $50 when we order $50. Tell me if you all agree. Not that Google knows everything, but I did ask Google, and it said no. No way, Jose, I believe is the words that it used. Copper. In the next row, I just came to my 3rd copper Canadian penny. This is a 1982, the 12-sided variety, the lighter of the copper pennies that they made. On our way to services, there is a gas station being built. We didn't know forever. We didn't even know what it was. It's just taken forever, it seems like. You know, they're putting up Wawas around here. They're breaking ground, you know, digging the holes, putting in the tanks, building them up, open them up. And this place has still got, I guess, a long way to go. In fact, I think I saw an old wooden wagon wheel out front from where they first started bringing supplies in. This is the fourth row now in the second half of the box. And I was thinking, oh, it's getting late. It's a little after 9. If I'm going to get anything done outside, I probably ought to get started on it. And I thought I could do that. I could get out there and get started on doing a few of those things. Or I could continue going through some of these pennies with you guys and 82 and looking for a couple more wheat pennies and get me another cup of coffee. And I'm hard. What will I do? What will I do? Oh, look, what's that? Is that my cup of coffee? Looks like we're going to stick around here and go through some more pennies. And drink my cup of coffee. $20.23. I can't hardly see those things, man. I think I see 3. Oh, I don't have my little light over here. I had it pointed at my tom loaf. I got the little lights that came with the tom loaf, but you got to plug them in separately. And I don't have them plugged in about 90% of the time. Make that 99.9% of the time. Right near the end of the 6th row in the second half is wheat penny number 9. Number 9. 1956 Denver. Have you noticed that when you go back for your second cup of coffee after it's been in that coffee pot cooking for a while, it takes a little bit more half and half to lighten it up a little bit because it's cooked. It's getting a lot darker. In the 8th row of the second half, I just came to another 2009 that I think I'll keep. About 2 rows back, I found another one that I didn't keep. It was in definitely worse condition than this one. So I have my Tom Love now set up more handy. To just browse at coins here and there. And so for the longest time, I had it where it was kind of inconvenient. It was sticking over across the table, and so I'd look up at it and go, It's like I wouldn't bother. But now I've got it right next to me. All right, guys, now I'm in the 12th row in the second half now, and here is a 1980 Canadian copper penny. This is the middleweight, we'll call it, middleweight champion. From 53 to 79, they made their copper pennies 3.24 grams. And then just 80 and 81, just those 2 years, they made them 2.8 grams. All of them are 98% copper up until 96, 97, I guess. And so for just these 2 years, they made them 2.8 grams. And then after that, for the next bunch of years, they made the 12-sided ones 2.5 grams. Just like our Zinkies. Oh, I was going to also mention this dime that I found here. That is dime number 33. I have found coin roll hunting this year. And last year, I found a total of 38 dimes while coin roll hunting. And so I got a good shot. A lot of these, I got like 10 or 11, I think, 82. in a customer role. So that really pushed me up there. I may not have gotten that, I may not have a chance at hitting last year's record if it wasn't for that. But now I got a pretty good shot at beating my last year's count. Just 5 to go for the rest of the year. Come on, Copper. Okay, I am in the 15th row in the second half, just 10 rows to go. Here is a 1981 1 cent. I think this is Bermuda with the little wild hog. I guess they like roasting their pigs over there. Yeah, Bermuda. That's what I was thinking it was. My son called and we talked for almost an hour. It's a quarter till 11 now. Those are pretty cool looking pennies there. Pretty normal on that side, but they get their uniqueness on this side. Neato. My wife just texted. She just made it to her destination. Got rained on a little bit. We were talking. We bought our first house when we moved back to Louisville here from my wife's brother because he had wanted to move to Colorado. He had a really, really bad trucking accident and had some pretty severe brain damage. And he lived by himself, but he just couldn't function quite right. He couldn't hardly make decisions. I think when we got over there, we found that he was paying for 3 different internet services because he just didn't know. I mean, it was just a mess. Anyway, we helped him get everything sorted and straightened out, and we even helped him get moved to Colorado. He had an old friend there that was going to help him that was familiar with brain injury care type stuff. And so he moved out there, and he likes it out there. We have visited him once, but him and his friend, he's 70 something, and his health is not fantastic, and his friend's health is worse than his. And we're like, we probably ought to try to get out there pretty soon. I don't know what pretty soon means, but we don't need to wait too much longer before we head back out there. Here it is. I say here it is. Wheat penny number 10. 1957 Denver. We got our 10. It's been a little while. Cool beans. There's still 7 rolls to go after this. I don't know if you recognize that line from the song or not, but that came from that old movie with Clint Eastwood. He did a musical called Paint Your Wagon way back when. And actually, there's a song, the intro song to that movie was probably the theme for my life for quite a few years of my life. And it goes something like this. Where you going, I don't know. When will you get there, I ain't certain. All that I know is I am on my way. And that was me. That's how I lived my life. Man, I'm telling you. Paint your wagon. Paint your wagon and come along. But I have to tell you, folks, I used to love that movie, but after I became a Christian and I watched it a time or two, it's like, I like Clint Eastwood, and there's some funny stuff in that movie, and it's a musical. It's the only musical I ever really liked, I think. There's some great music in it. There's a Canadian 12-sided copper 1983. Cool. There's a song called Mariah that's really nice song. Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Anyway, enough singing for one video. That movie is, even though it's kind of a fun movie, And it's an interesting concept where they build these tunnels underneath these buildings in this gold prospecting town, and they collect the gold that people are dropping on the floor. But it's, folks, it's not a wholesome movie. It's not. If you, it's like when you pay attention to the theme of the movie, it's like, oh my goodness. It's, promoting sin at every corner. But if 82, if you're okay with overlooking that, it can be a fun movie, but it's not wholesome. Second to the last row in the box, here is another 2009. I think I'll keep this one. It's 3, I believe, I have kept. Oh, 2 of them were D's from this box. Referring back to that movie one more time, Wandering Star, Paint Your Wagon, there's a song by Lee Marvin with his rough old voice. It said, I was born under a wandering star. And again, that was me for the longest of times. I was living in South Bend, Indiana for a little while and made some friends up there. Then I just, up and moved away, and I told my friends I was leaving, going somewhere else. And one of my friends said, you was born under a wandering star. And I said, I just haven't found where I want to be. And, what can I say? The Bible says we're just, this is not our permanent home. And I can feel that. My permanent home is not of this world. 1982. We're just wanderers. One more row. How about this, folks? The last row, and I get number 11. 1953 Philadelphia. How cool is that? Get one more right at the end. When I'm done here, I will weigh these 82s, pull out the copper, and then we'll go over to the scales and see if I get my 3 pounds. I think I'm close, but I don't know if I hit it or not. We'll see in just a minute. I'm just running through these really fast, ain't I? Slow down. Copper, we're almost done. Okay, folks, here we are. It's time to find out how much copper we got. Oh, we hit it. We just barely did. We just barely over 3 pounds. 11 wheat pennies, 3 pounds of copper, a few Canadian coppers, and even one from Bermuda. Cool beans. Pretty good box of pennies here. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you're finding. I love to hear it. Like talking to you guys. And I will see you in the next video.